secondary source versus secondary source. The narcissist has grown weary of the incumbent intimate partner primary source. This individual is now in devaluation. Either the fuel has grown stale, or it is not being provided as often or as frequently as it ought to be. The fuel that ought to be provided at a premium level has become diminished in quantity and quality. Whilst, of course, it still flows as part of the devaluation, the sustained devaluation that is being imposed against the intimate partner primary source, the time has come to audition for your replacement. The narcissist, when the intimate partner primary source enters devaluation, begins to look for a replacement. It is not conscious on the part of the lesser or mid-range narcissist. They just start to have a roving eye, flirt, look around elsewhere. They are not consciously looking to replace their primary source, but the narcissism unconsciously is starting the process to see if there is anything out there which might usurp that which sits in the position of traitor. The greater narcissist and the ultra knows that a replacement is being sought. There might be a distraction, a plaything, who might manifest into becoming the primary source, or they may not. But one eye is kept on the possibility of the dalliance, the affair, the transgression, the tryst, becoming someone who is promoted. Where this occurs, many narcissists will only engage with one intimate partner secondary source at a time. So they will conduct something of an affair which might not lead anywhere, and that person is shelved, and they move on to somebody else. And they deal with them for a period of time, and they are shelved, and they may return to the first IPSS or find another new one. But the higher that you climb within the echelon of the narcissist, upper lesser type A, because of their high energy levels, are a slight exception, but are included in this list. Middle range type A, middle mid-range type B, upper mid-range, all greaters and ultra, will often be juggling at least two intimate partner secondary sources at the same time, which means that on the Monday, time might be spent with IPSS number 1, and then on Wednesday, IPSS number 2, and in and around that, dealings with the devalued intimate partner primary source. So rather than have a longer period with just one IPSS until they are shelved, or more rarely disengaged from and then moving on to a different one, which is more the preserve of lower mid-range, lower lesser, and middle lesser, and upper lesser type B, the aforementioned narcissist group adopt a position more akin to having two or more plates spinning at the same time and move between them. Remember, this doesn't mean necessarily spending physical time with the individuals. It might be an hour-long conversation. It might be a text exchange for half an hour whilst driving to work. And so the narcissist is able to keep these two or more IPSSs on the go at essentially the same time. Going out for a couple of drinks with one, meeting up with another in the afternoon or at lunchtime, having the aforementioned telephone conversation, etc. And this is done to draw positive fuel for the narcissist. And in certain instances, the IPPS may even be aware of this going on, which forms part of the devaluing triangulating behaviour. If they are unaware, then the narcissist is still able to contrast the negative fuel that is being obtained from the devalued intimate partner primary source with the positive fuel that is being received from these bits on the side, for want of better description. Sometimes these IPSSs remain that, a dirty little secret or a shelf IPSS. balanced as against other ones, but they might move on to candidate. They may become the intimate partner primary source. Whilst this is going on, in order to identify a potential prospect for the candidate and to assert control, to ascertain fuel provision, etc., the narcissist will behave in a testing way. The tests are not so arduous so that they cause the failure of the seduction of the relevant intimate partner secondary source, but they are actually designed to ascertain which of the two or more competing prospects is coming under control more readily and also provides the juiciest fuel. This current performance amounts to a strong indicator of future performance. Here are 10 tests that the narcissist will commonly utilize. Understand, as I explained, these are more likely to be used by upper lesser type A, middle range type A and B, upper mid range, all graters, and the ultra. We are in effect testing the IPSSs against one another, although they don't actually realize it. 1. Sending the same text message to both prospects to see who responds the fastest. 2. Sending the same text message to both prospects without concerns as to the speed of reply, but as to seeing who provides the best fuel-laden response. 3. Arranging a date with both prospects and then cancelling, with a view to rearranging, of course, to determine who is the most disappointed and which of the prospects tries to keep the date alive by making adjustments to their schedule and alternative suggestions. 4. Calling both prospects in the middle of the night to see who actually answers. 5. Sending the same gift at the same time to see who thanks us the fastest and in the most appreciative manner. 6. If sexual coupling has occurred, then sleeping with you both in the space of 24 hours, or indeed even less, in order to determine who is the more fuel-accomplished lover and who is coming under control. 7. Feigning a minor emergency and seeing who responds the fastest and with the greatest concern and compassion. 8. Suggesting a date when it is known that the prospects have something else on to see who will break their existing engagement in order to see us. 9. Having a lieutenant to try and arrange a date with you to see if you rebuff him and make mention of me. 10. Holding a social media challenge to see how many likes, retweets, comments each prospect applies to the narcissist posting in a 3-day period to see who posts the most and provides the most fuel. Not only does this contest provide us with plenty of fuel coming from the two fuel lines of the competing prospects, it enables us who we should focus our greater efforts on to ensure that they come under our control with the view to becoming potentially the intimate partner primary source. If the contest is too close to call after the 10 tests that have been mentioned, or a number of those tests, then additional tests will be utilized. The winner then gets their nose out in front and edges forward to become potentially the intimate partner primary source. The loser will not lose out. They will remain an intimate partner secondary source, and maybe next time around it will be their turn. They also, of course, will have a future role to play in a prospective triangulation. And here is where secondary source is pitted against secondary source, but they don't even know it. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.